We can stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Good time.
I pledge allegiance.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Denise, we gave proper notice for this meeting.
Yes, Chairman.
Can I have a roll call of commissioners?
Sure. Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner DeWise. Fisher. Gorillo.
Here.
Parikh. Roberts. Scott.
Yes.
And Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. We have a quorum.
Yes, Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you. We have the minutes from our previous meeting, which was June 12th, 2025. Has everybody had an opportunity to review those minutes? Are there any need for any edits or modifications? If not, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes. Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Davis. DeWise. Fisher. Gorillo.
Yes.
Parikh. Roberts. Scott.
Yes.
And Zabrowski.
Yes. On to our attorney's report, Mike.
Thank you, Chairman. I will leave a report to Zach and here. I did want to report that finally, after many years, the Parcel A agreement among the DEP and the county has finally been fully executed. Anthony and the team are now in implementation mode. There's not that much to go. That'll allow a remedial action outcome to be filed. It'll also, hopefully in short order, allow us to sell the property that's been under contract for over a decade. Sera gets some of the money. The SSA gets some of the money. I want to thank Anthony, Paul St. Ange, CME office, Zach, and the folks at the county and the DEP for finally getting this across the finish line.
And Mike, from my understanding, there's parcels A, B, and C, correct?
Correct.
So A is for anybody.
A is that, thank you, Chairman. A is the bayfront piece that was acquired as open space by the borough put in some money, the DEP put in some money, and the county put in some money. The remediation is now complete, and the documentation that would allow it to be finalized with the department is complete. The last thing was that agreement amongst the parties for the maintenance and operation of the site.
There was a lot of holdup from state DEP. Remember, we went through early last year about it. And finally, and then county, we had a meeting with the county and everybody finally made a push and it completed. Now, the benefit to Riverton is that no longer, they don't have to carry insurance and other costs associated with that parcel. So.
That's it, Chairman.
Any questions for our attorney? Moving on, engineers report, Justin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Mike stated, we had a BDA meeting last month on June 24th. Great progress is being made. The site is mostly clean. They've done a lot of work, and at each BDA meeting, they really go over it, and it's very impressive what they've done. And at the Riverton site, Bass Pro Shop continues. You can see the progress from as you pass by. And just that's it, progress. Thank you.
I know we talked about it before, but expectation when the exterior was going to be completed, the shell?
By this fall.
This fall. Okay.
What's that? I'm sorry to hear the question.
My question, Ken, was the exterior or the shell of the building. Did they have an anticipated completion date for that?
No.
All good. Thank you, Justin. Just to follow up, the next step for the speed limit is mayor and council has to propose.
The
a
mayor and
resolution?
council need to approve it, and then the Middlesex County will need to approve it as well. And then we can, with them, decide how they're going to move forward.
Okay, so that resolution, would that be produced by our borough attorney or Mike or in conjunction?
I
How would that
believe
work?
we had a resolution last meeting that we all voted on, so it should be on the next council meeting.
Okay, very good. Any questions for our engineer? Moving on to our planners report, Vina.
Uh, So actually, there are a couple of things that I'm working on. Two area investigation study. One is for Ernston Road and the other is Main Street and Crossman. We actually were supposed to present it next week. However, when I was reviewing the sites, it came across that not all the sites meet the redevelopment criteria. However, they do meet the rehabilitation criteria. But when the council actually when we passed a resolution, I had ensured, typically I include rehab to cover myself, but when it went to the council, it just had redevelopment included. So I couldn't proceed with the redevelopment rehab. And especially, I don't want the state to come back and question us on any of our studies. So I spoke to Mr. Cerdello and we decided to carry it to the next planning board meeting. There is again a noticing requirement. So we scheduled it for 6th of next month, but then the council meeting is on 21st. The notice has to go prior if it has to be conducted on 6th. So it's been moved 2 weeks from after 6th, but those two studies should be presented. Simultaneously, I'm working with the Hanover group with their the Sunshine Biscuit site, the redevelopment plan, because now the area is designated. We have escrow and we need to present the plan in front of the council. So I'm working with his engineer. I just spoke to Justin this morning because I'll need his help with the roadway improvements on Journey Mill and Bordentown because that was part of the county, but I do want to include it as part of the plan. So that's something that's going on. And as you all know, we all were busy until the 30th on the housing plans. And at that time, Chairman and I had spoken, I had reached out to Himanshu as well. There is one area right next to the parking, the park, commuter parking, thank you, commuter parking right next to a Garden State Parkway. And since I'm working on the transit village designation for Old Bridge, I'm in close contact with NJ Transit, NJ DOT, and I was actually a speaker at the New Jersey Planning Conference on the same topic, transit village. And at that time, it struck to me that probably that area next to the commuter parking lot can be designated as a transit village. And that area, if you notice, there is a Rite Aid that is shut down. There is a lot of industrial type of uses. It's an area that clearly qualifies for redevelopment. So I actually asked the planner for NJ Transit, would she entertain a meeting with us and can I pursue Transit Village for that spot? The biggest advantage to get that designation, it opens up the township to a lot of funding from NJDOT, roadway improvements, sidewalks, pedestrian safety. So that is one advantage. The biggest advantage in terms of housing is if you are within a transit village designation, you get one bonus credit for all the transit, all the affordable housing units. And plus, if you do special needs, then you get again additional bonus credits when you are in a transit village. So I think it's a great location. She has agreed for a meeting. I'm trying to schedule a meeting with chairman and Himanshu in the next few weeks. So I think I'm pretty excited about it because if we can see the transit village designation can come in later because it takes almost 18 months. But in the interim, we can work on the study. We can write a plan. We can involve public because that is one of the criterias to get the transit village. So it's an exciting project and it'll be a feather in our cap once we get that.
Whatever you need in terms of the commissioner's authorizations, let's put it on next meeting and we'll
Sure,
get
I
that.
would like to come up with a boundary area map, make a short presentation. I know there are some developers who are keen on seeing Transit Village come in. So hopefully that should be able to address some of our affordable housing need too.
Yeah, and those two areas are significant from another standpoint as well. One of the issues in trying to be creative in obviously satisfying affordable housing, but also trying to satisfy an opportunity for people to want to move into Saraville, right? Is to be able to try to ensure that there's not additional congestion as a result of the right, that, because that's the biggest issue. But these two areas, because of where they're located and what they do, will allow for most traffic to be, number one, transit traffic, right? Commuter traffic. And with the help of public transportation, also be able to reduce the need for more vehicles traveling on our roads, but also bringing people in and bringing fresh projects as well. So it really kind of satisfies a full lot without burdening the township further, which I think that's one of the creative ideas, one of the areas that we're looking to do. So I think they're both exciting. One, being able to connect the hub of Old Bridge, which was tremendous, and creating our own using already the commuter lot, because some people have already said, oh, we're going to get rid of the commuter lot. It's not true. It's enhancing the commuter lot, but also enhancing the opportunity for more people to utilize that, but also be able to utilize mass transportation because it's in an area where it's of that focus. So
And I think in a community, right, there has to be a balance of age groups too.
Yep.
Generally, when it comes to Transit Village, you attract younger folks who want to shop and dine there, don't want to use their cars. I know of so many younger adults who now don't want to drive around. So they have an option to live right there, hop onto the bus while you create a mixed use environment where there is grocery, commercial, restaurants and stuff like that. So I think it is a good area, both Ernston Road as well as this one. And the state is right now, actually, this is the best time to ever approach for Transit Village, because with the affordable housing requirement, the state is pushing for Transit Village designations. So there have been only like 33 designations until now, but now there is a push because they are also encouraging a bus rapid transit system along Route 9. And there are 17 stops along which they're proposing transit village designations. It starts from Howell Township, it ends in Old Bridge, but we are right at the fringe. So we should take advantage of that.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
So do we know who owns the Rite Aid property? Is that owned by Rite Aid corporate, or is that a private owner that leased it to Rite Aid? Right, because the Rite Aid's out of business. Right? It was part of a corporate decision to remove certain stores.
We can find out the ownership, but it's.
I think that's an important thing because we should understand who owns that. It's a tough site to probably reactivate as its former use, right? It's going to probably sit there for a long time. Could be a phenomenal part of a transit village. But we need to let that owner know that there's a possibility. The second thing is, and I guess this is specific to the affordable housing bonus credits, we approved, or I don't want to say approved, we heard a presentation about Gillette Towers and adding a second building, right, at the site, or third building, whatever it is, third building. That's not built yet, right? And I guess has not been approved as part of our next round of affordable housing. So could the units there, if they're included in the Transit Village proposal, get bonus credits as well?
It depends. I have to look, because Transit Village has its own, but I know that when you're creating, like, for example, special needs, they get their own bonus credits as
Mhm.
well. So I'm pretty certain if we relocate these, we should be able to get additional credits, but I have to confirm.
I'm just thinking about the boundary, and if you're going to go, you might as well go across to where Gillette is for that new building. Even if we pick up just a handful of more credits, it's
Yeah,
still
definitely.
credits.
Because see, this was like on the spur when the housing,
Yeah.
it was like the last week of the housing plan. And I started looking at the entire borough to see where I can see signs of, dilapidation or underutilization. And this area popped up like this. I didn't take too much time in saying, oh my God, this is the right location. So the boundaries have not been defined yet.
Right.
The housing plan talks about it, but now we can go ahead and see. The good part about this whole transit village designation is there is a process, and in which you involve the property owners. So when you're saying try to find out who owns it, they receive letters they are the first ones to receive letters saying that the borough is considering transit village so that they know that their property value is going to go up and they should reach out to us first before even trying to sell or come up with a concept. So it's a good tool and I think we should just take advantage of it.
And can I just ask about the BRT, the bus rapid transit you mentioned? So
Yes.
the northernmost stop from what you're talking about would be somewhere on the Sayreville Old Bridge border.
Yes. So it's basically what happened is almost 4 years ago. 4 years ago, FTA granted 400,000 to NJ Transit to come up with this study for bus rapid transit because Route 9 is congested and they wanted to come up with the system where they want to create transit oriented developments along 17 of these intersections. The northernmost is the Old Bridge commuter parking lot. But with that, what happens is Milletta Drive, which directly connects into Sayreville, right? There'll be a lot of improvements done there. There was a concept that was presented. I can share the presentation with you, but the pedestrian connectivity increases. The Middlesex County has their own shuttle that runs through there. So the Ernston Road area will have direct access to this commuter area. The idea is that the whole area will be developed with mixed use. So there'll be apartments, there'll be restaurants. There potentially has to be a parking deck too, because there are 3 parcels very close to Sayreville's border that are owned by NJ Transit. And what EDA is doing is trying to help offload NJ Transit from those lots. So they are coming in, purchasing those parcels, but then they are opening it for bid for developers to come in, buy those parcels so that there will be investment and offsite improvements. So there is a lot of potential to that area and we are right there. We are right next to it. So we definitely, although we fall right outside the half mile, it is going to be advantageous to us.
And is the theory behind the BRT that it's a BRT to get people more efficiently to the Old Bridge?
Yeah.
So it's not.
Not to Old Bridge, not just to Old Bridge, but
I'm getting to a question.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out. So, because I haven't seen the plan. So the BRT, right, you said from Howell, right? So it's running up 9, functioning as a typical BRT, probably on a dedicated right of way, some derivative thereof. So it gets to the Old Bridge park and ride.
correct.
Then what?
It terminates there and then you hop on to the bus.
Then you hop onto a bus to
And
Manhattan.
Yes, yes. And see, the bus rapid was started almost 10 years ago, but it's not an easy project.
Mhm.
But at least this was the first time that New Jersey got, it was a moment to cherish because it was the first time that New Jersey got FDA grant for something like this. So they initiated a study. Perkins and Eastman was the design consultants. So it's at a very inceptional stage, but what happens to the bus rapid is probably next 10 or 20 years, but they are trying to develop those transit villages along so that they reduce congestion along Route 9 and people just go park close to those intersections and hop onto the bus, because actually the bus ridership along Route 9 is the highest. It's comparable to a train ridership in that area. And NJ Transit is very proud of that bus line. So we're just trying to capitalize on that.
Would there be any possibility of using that to leverage a transit village application for Route 9 and Melrose in Sayreville?
Melrose, I have to.
So as you continue going up Route 9, right, before you get to the Route 9 Driscoll Bridge, right, we have this fairly dilapidated industrial area, right? In theory, a bus would pass that and then continue on its way to Manhattan. Maybe I don't like the idea of it terminating at the Old Bridge Park and Ride. Maybe I wish they had thought a little bit further north. So that's my question. If we're talking about transit village, I know this is all theory, but why does the BRT stop there? Or could we use transit village funding to encourage some sort of transit-oriented development in the Melrose section
Oh,
on the same bus
definitely.
line?
Oh, definitely. I mean, see, transit village designation is not tied up with just the BART, right? It is transit, Metuchen has transit village because they have train.
Right.
East Brunswick doesn't have a train station, but they did get the transit village designation based on the bus.
Mhm.
So we could pick up an area, we could initiate a meeting. It's a pre-application meeting to brainstorm with NJ Transit and NJ DOT and see what their response is for the new area. With the one on Parkway, because it was right there, I was with the entire crew, so it was easy for me to discuss. And it didn't take them a while to even, visualize where that area is. But we can definitely, when we set up the meeting, we can discuss both areas.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's the way I think what Transit Village does is it allows you to concentrate development in areas where the borough wishes to, while preserving the suburban character in other areas. So you are trying to condense development or growth where you want to, but then you're preserving other stuff, right?
And transit
So-
village designation also helps with public infrastructure costs.
Correct, exactly.
Crossings, crosswalks, lighting, I mean, all
Exactly.
that stuff, you can use state funding to offset municipal costs.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
it's very hard to have a developer pay for offsite improvements. You have to still be reasonable. But if you have this designation, getting that funding becomes easier because, like, for example, Old Bridge recently submitted an application for sidewalks within the transit village. But that is possible only after we start our
Right.
conversation. So I think we should get that started while it's a good climate for a transit village. We should take advantage and see how it can benefit Sayreville as well.
Thank
And
you all
I'll
for
be
listening
more
to me
than
have a
happy.
conversation with Vina. I appreciate that.
Well, we might be able to also connect that, our proposed transit connection with the smaller, not the buses, but the ability for transports to the bus station as well, right? So that we
Correct.
would actually maybe utilize some of those bus stops that currently are dilapidated in the area
Yes,
and make them.
correct.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, members. I'm just too passionate about transit.
Any questions, comments, else for Vina? If not, we'll move on to our financial report.
Then ask my able assistants to do the executive director's report.
No, well, financial reports were distributed to the commissioners, and if there's ever any questions about them, feel free to contact me. I'll go over it with you. Okay?
Any questions of Wayne? If not, Zach?
All right, so I am gonna go over the website again, even though we've discussed it previously. So Sera is in the final stages of launching a new modernized website to improve public engagement and access to redevelopment information. The new site is seranj.gov. It's designed to enhance transparency, streamline communication, and serve as a comprehensive resource for the agency's activity. The website's layout and design have been completed. The project has now entered the content migration phase, during which materials from the existing web page are being reviewed, updated, and transferred to our new platform. The fully updated website is expected to be operational later this month. Once launched, it will provide residents and stakeholders with easy access to project updates, redevelopment area details, meeting agendas, minutes, public notices, and other essential resources. The site will be fully optimized for both desktop and mobile devices, and it will include a mobile app. With the Riverton update, as Justin has previously said, Bass Pro Shops is continuing right on schedule. We did have our quarterly BDA meeting down there. They did discuss the remediation efforts. I believe parcel A is 95% remediated. I think they have 14. Oh, parcel C, I apologize. Parcel C is 95% remediated. I think there's 14 sites that they have to do some additional remediation work. Parcel B, they are finalizing an access agreement with the cinema site to do some further testing and some capping activities there. And then the biggest achievement was the parcel A management agreement was successfully signed between Middlesex County and NJ DEP. So thank you, everybody, for your efforts on that, because that has been outstanding for some years now. Although parcel A has been fully remediated for years, that management agreement was never fully executed.
We gotta thank Mayor for him making the push that is needed to get this thing accomplished.
Questions or comments for Zach or Himanshu? If not, David, I know you just came in. Any,
First, I apologize for being late. I
Not
got stuck
necessary.
in Route 18 traffic.
Justin did a wonderful job.
But Justin, any further reporting?
So we're all good? Okay. Authorization for payment of bills, excuse me. Total amount, 84,594.85. Operating total is 41,563.04. Escrow total, 43,031.81. Questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion
I'll make a motion.
and a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Davis, DeWise, Fisher, Gorillo,
Yes.
Parikh, Roberts, Scott,
Yes.
and Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. Now for this evening, our biggest discussion, which would be our 2024 audit review. I'll turn it over to Himanshu and our auditor.
Thank you. Yes, our auditors is here. Report is complete. We were down to one comments and has nothing to do with the current year operations. It has to do with the carryover issue about the negative balance, escrow balance. But I'm gonna let the auditor go over that. I want to thank Denise, Wayne, and everybody. All our records are current, computerized now. All the information is available. I also want to thank Donna for creating the graphs and charts now that we share with you, which shows, the information in a graphical format. So, Wayne, you have anything to add, or we'll get the auditor to do the report?
No, I'll make a comment if the auditor doesn't cover something I think should be covered, but right now, I think we should bring up Andy, so.
Andrew?
Good evening, everybody. Everything I was about to say, Himanshu covered it. The audit is a lot different than past years. Like he said, that we're down to one comment and recommendation. And basically, there's two escrow accounts that have a minor deficit. They've been when I say they, Himanshu and Wayne have been working on it throughout the year, trying to, get the money back from the redeveloper. And in a case that it can't, then unfortunately, I think Sera's just gonna have to write off that amount. Because I believe the projects are done and the redeveloper is.
One of them may be coming back.
Okay, well, at
We
this
might be
point,
able to collect some money back.
okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll leave that in your
Definitely
hands.
some of it we're gonna get back.
Right.
The second one, the other one is still up in the air yet.
Okay.
But,
And like I said, every dollar matters, but it is relatively small amounts. So I just don't want to, say it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a couple $1,000s, which is still material. Don't get me wrong. Every penny, every dollar, you try and get.
Simultaneously, you pass a resolution, and Wayne has been working with the applicants that have an escrow balance with us to return to them. And if we can't return to them, obviously, we had to execute to the state eventually.
And like Himanshu had indicated, I believe back in April of 2024, he brought in a accounting software that is working as designed. Everything is now computerized, so everything's in the modern age.
No cost to Sarah, no cost.
No
to Sarah.
cost.
Yeah.
I did have one suggestion on his, on the computerization. The purchase orders, once they were approved to be paid and the checks were generated, the actual check number wasn't being written on the purchase order. Doesn't seem like a lot, but 3 years from now, if you need to pull a certain purchase order and someone says, a commissioner says, or Oprah says, I need check number 1119, well, now you don't have to go digging for the purchase order. Will have the check number on it. Just makes it a lot easier because those purchase orders you have to maintain for 7 years before you can destroy them. And
That's been corrected.
Right.
We have gone back to
Yeah, no,
January 1st and corrected it for this year. Okay, so you know. Well,
I
it'd
was
be
just going to say that also, that after I came across that, I was working in Denise's office downstairs, and when I came back the next day, all the 24 had the check numbers on it. So she did go back and record them, and I believe in 25, they are being recorded. Doesn't sound like a big thing, but it makes it life easier for everybody.
Yeah, Denise and I have come up with a process now where it's easy for Denise to record them after every check run, so.
Right. And then just one of my other suggestions were during 2024, Sera and the borough entered into a interlocal agreement to provide certain functions, payroll, IT support, and supply purchases. One of my random purchase orders was a reimbursement to the borough, and there was a bill from the borough. It was fully executed, but I felt there should have been a little more detail as to like supplies. You were reimbursing the borough for $400, but there was no detail as to what that $400 represented. Same thing with the IT support. The borough would bill you a monthly amount of whatever, $400, $500, $600, but there was no detail as to exactly what services was performed. So I think that was something that's going to be taken care of. So with that said, like I said, it was only one comment and one recommendation about the outstanding escrow deficits. And sure. That's what I was, the financial position, your net position, or AKA fund balance, stayed relatively the same from 2023 into 2024 of approximately $2.8 million. So you didn't make money, you didn't lose money, but you provided all the services that needed to be, and you stayed whole. Mhm. And that's all I really have on the financial position, because like I said, your net position is very healthy. God bless you. And if there's any comments or questions? Did I address the other thing you needed?
Yes, you
Okay.
did.
Which one was that?
Yes, you did. I just want to make a comment before we close this, is that there was one audit recommendation, and it was regarding the outstanding escrow accounts. And you all have a copy of the corrective measures, and they'll be filed with the state as required by state regulation. I'll be filing the audit and these corrective action plan upon after adoption of the resolution accepting the audit. So
Like Wayne had said, there's a form you have to sign. It's called a group affidavits page that indicates that all the commissioners read at least the comments and recommendations, and they're fully aware of it. And that has to be posted on the FAST system along with the audit once the resolution is adopted tonight.
Andrew, one of the things I think you also look at in the audit, because it's something that we always look at numbers, but where we think of numbers in audit, but I think you also looked at the staffing of Sera to make sure, is it overstaffed, understaffed, or properly staffed, right? In reference to the work that's done.
I look at the expenditures for the staff. I'm not qualified to say you need 5 bookkeepers, you need 9 secretaries. I just go by, if there's a person approved for hire, I verify that they're paid according to their contract or the resolution, appointing them. I can't honestly say that you need more staff, you have too much staff, because I'm not in a position to, comment on it.
Payments are appropriate there.
The payments are appropriate. And that was the other thing I noticed too on the interlocal agreement. You would reimburse the borough for salary and wages, but I'd like to see a little description as to names and amounts on there. This way, once again, 4 or 5 years from now, if you have to pull something, it's a lot easier. It's all together already. And from what I understand, last year's meetings, Sera is applying for federal aid or grants. That's a whole new set of paperwork that, is more diligent and massive to store. So if you start getting all the detail now, it would make the reimbursements for federal aid a lot easier.
Questions or comments for order? Appreciate it. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for the
Thank you.
presentation. Which leads us to Resolution 2025-736, which is a resolution of Saraville Economic and Redevelopment Agency governing body certification of the annual audit. Can I get a motion to
Make a motion to approve. I'll second.
roll call?
Commissioner Davis. DeWise. Fisher. Gorillo.
Yes.
Parikh. Roberts. Scott.
Yes.
And Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. Now we come to commissioners' comments. Are there any additional discussion items? We did have a working session earlier, but there could have been some outstanding. Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Do we have anything update on the movie theater side?
Update in the sense that they're actively marketing the site. There were discussion with the Riverton folks also to do joint of a parcel B and the site which is adjoining. But nothing has been materialized and we haven't received anything. It's part of the redevelopment plan. So when they're ready, they'll come forward and then we'll look at it. But nothing, I don't believe they have approached. Yeah, yeah.
We agree.
They've been cleaning up and the ground, It had a great project, but unfortunately.
Is it still owned by, was it National Amusements?
No,
No.
yeah. Nice real.
When did they buy it? Was it recently?
They bought it about 4 years.
Oh, okay. I consider that recent in our business.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I'm going to ask for a motion to open to the public. Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call, or do we need
All in favor?
all in favor?
I have to read.
Before though, all in favor, we need the.
Okay.
Voice vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? To keep this meeting as organized as possible, we ask members of the public to approach, state your name, and strive to limit your comments to 5 minutes. All comments this evening should refer to redevelopment and agenda items per NJSA 10-4-12A and the Saraville Economic Redevelopment Agency's rules. In the event a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made during regular business hours with the agency's office. Thank you.
Anybody from the public that would wish to speak? Anybody from the public wish to speak? Anybody from the public wish to speak? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close public portion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
We have nothing for executive session?
Nothing for executive session, Chairman.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second, all in favor? Thank you, everybody. Good meeting.
Just need everybody's signature for the.
So actually, then I was for the New Jersey planning. Looking at transportation was in something, and they want the same pattern to see, and it's coming off, so I'm like.
I gotta apologize. About 3 weeks that they put me on an inhaler. I couldn't catch my, I started talking faster. I apologize.
And it all started like. I was Livingston's country man. But at the same time, I think